welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television. I am Uyi Agmofwebe. The News Cycle is coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. A quick reminder for all our viewers that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nigecomsat. Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, says he is alive. Yakubu said this in a statement signed on his behalf by Rotimi Oyekomi, his chief press secretary. It had been reported that an online platform and some social media handles has stated that the INEC chairman died at an undisclosed hospital in London after an illness. The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, says the party's target is to capture Rivers State in 2027. Ganduje stated this while inaugurating the newly elected executive committee of the party in the state. He said though the South-South geopolitical zone is largely controlled by the People's Democratic Party, that is the PDP, the APC is making inroads in the zone with Cross River and Edo State already taken by the ruling party. The Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics has suspended its 2-week warning strike. The union, which had embarked on a 2-week strike on December 2nd over what it described as neglect of the polytechnics education in Nigeria and other issues, thereby directed its members nationwide to resume duties on Monday. In a statement dated December 12, the union's national president, Shama Banja, said the strike was suspended following a meeting with officials of the Ministry of Labor and Employment, where a memorandum of understanding was signed with a caveat that another meeting will be held on January 23, 2025 to end the industrial dispute. Finally, Banga also stated that the union's National Executive Committee will meet to review the situation ahead of the meeting with the government in January. Minister of Works Dave Umahi has explained why the federal government re-awarded the Abuja-Kaduna Zaria-Kano road contract, which was initially awarded to Julius Berger. The contract for the construction of the road, which was awarded to Julius Berger, was recently terminated by the federal government, which accused the contractor of unethical practices and alleged failure to abide by the terms of the project. Umahi speaking when he appeared before the ad hoc committee to monitor the construction of the road, chaired by the lawmaker representing Kaura Namoda Brennan Magaji Federal Constituency, Aminu Jaji, said the project, when re-awarded, would be for a concrete road. He said using asphalt for the construction of the Abuja-Kaduna Zaria-Kano road instead of concrete would save the federal government over 640 billion naira, noting further that the concrete road will be of better quality and completed in record time. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development Festus Kayamo has appealed to regular and non-regular flyers to embrace the proposed Fly Nigeria Act from the federal government. He said this is to ensure that Nigerian flag carriers are given priority for all government-funded travel, whether domestic, regional, or international. Speaking at the unveiling ceremony of the legislative framework on the proposal, Kayamo revealed that the act aims to create demand and market opportunities for routes not currently operated by Nigerian carriers. He noted that by incentivizing the development of such routes, the proposed legislation seeks to establish a more robust and competitive aviation market for the country, as he described the bold initiative as the right step in the right direction. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, says it has uncovered residential premises used in storing illegally refined petroleum products in Rivers State. A Rivers State commandant of the Corps, Joachim Okafor, who led a team of personnel to the illegal storage sites, explained that the discovery by the command's anti-vandal unit was through the deployment of the Corps' latest illegal crude oil theft technology tracker. Okafor said aside its negative impact on the nation's economy, the activities of crude oil thieves are causing serious environmental hazards and health issues to the people. The illegal storage facility located at Elemewo community in Obiakpo local government area contains large storage tanks and cans filled with illegally refined petroleum products. The authorities in Finland have frozen the assets of Simon Ekpa, the self-acclaimed Biafran agitator facing allegations of terrorism-related activities. A local newspaper says the Finnish government also froze the assets of companies associated with Ekpa and 4 of his accomplices who are in remand. Ekpa is reportedly being held in the prison, which is reputed to be one of the world's toughest. Ahead of the Christmas and New Year celebrations, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command has announced a prohibition on the use of firecrackers, popularly known as knockouts. This announcement was contained in a statement by the command's spokesperson, Josephine Ade. According to the statement, the Commissioner of Police in the district, Olatunji Disu, explained that the measure is to ensure the safety of lives and property during the festive period, as using of firecrackers often causes unnecessary panic, poses fire risks, and could lead to other avoidable incidents. And now talking security matters, troops of Operation Fansanyama have destroyed 22 camps of Lakarawa, killing several of them in Sokoto State. Acting General Commanding Officer, 8th Division and Commander Sector 2, Operation Fansanyama, Brigadier General Bikunle Ajose, stated this while addressing the Special Brigade deployed to crush Lakarawa in Sokoto and Kebbi States by the Chief of Defense Staff. He says the troops also recovered weapons and ammunition during the operations. General Bikunle Ajose noted that the operation led to the destruction of about 22 camps, neutralization of several members of the sect, recovery of 4 rifles and 409 PKT, 7.62 mm NATO and 96 by 7.26 mm special rounds ammunition. In another development, the monarch of Oke-Ila in Ila local government area of Osun State, Oba Adedokun Abolari, has identified quality education as a crucial means of eradicating poverty in Nigeria. The monarch called on government at all levels to increase their investment in education in order to enable every child have access to qualitative education. Abolari made the call at the 14th Convocation Lecture of Achievers University, Owo, in Ondo State, where he stressed that quality education should be made available to everyone, including children from low-income families, migrants, indigenous communities, and those with disabilities. In order to alleviate the suffering of flood victims across the country, the federal government, through the Ministry of Regional Development, has handed over palliatives to Imo State government to support victims of floods and other vulnerable groups. The presentation in Owerri, the state capital, was led by Minister of Regional Development, Abubakar Momo, with the Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, receiving the items. Our correspondent, Amarachi Ibe, has the rest of the story.
Presenting the palliative to Governor Uzodinma, the Minister of Regional Development explained that the intervention is targeted at alleviating the plight of flood victims and the less privileged in the state.
I welcome you to this symbolic presentation of palliative items to the people of Imo State. I made a presentation to the President, and he graciously approved that palliative items ranging from rice, beans, mosquito nets, and what have you. The idea today is to symbolically present this item to the people who are, of course, were affected and those who are also in need.
Governor Uzodinma, in his response, commended the federal government for the timely support and pledged that the palliative would be distributed to the intended beneficiaries.
So we received this with warm hearts, right thanking you for being able to do this, and also charging the committee, because the idea is that this thing has a target. The work of the committee is to ensure that this gets to the people who are affected by the flood. And if it is done and done well, the donors will be happy. Those who receive these materials will also be happy.
The high point of the event was the symbolic presentation of relief items to some beneficiaries. The federal federal government's gesture highlights its commitment to supporting states in crisis and ensuring aid reaches the most vulnerable. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Oh, thank you, Amarachi. You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you from the nation's capital, Abuja. When News Cycle returns, federal government launches wheat subsidy to enhance food security. Details of these, as well as foreign and sports stories, coming right after this break. Please stay with us. Well, thank you for staying with us, everyone. Now let's turn to business. The Federation Accounts Allocation Committee has distributed a total of 1.727 trillion naira, representing the November 2024 Federation Accounts revenue among the federal, state, and local governments. The distributed revenue comprised 455.354 billion naira from statutory allocations, 585.700 billion from value-added tax VAT, 15.046 billion naira from the electronic money transfer levy, and 671.392 billion naira from exchange difference revenue. A communique issued after the meeting noted that total gross revenue for November 2024 stood at 3.14 trillion naira. Minister of Works Dave Umahi says the decision to revoke the Abuja-Kaduna Zaria route from Julius Berger will save the government over 640 billion naira. He stated this when he appeared before the House of Representatives ad hoc committee, where he said the contract will be re-awarded for a concrete road, which he said will save the federal government well over $500 billion. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu, has disclosed that the federal government has initiated measures to subsidize local wheat production to enhance food security and reduce reliance on imported wheat. Speaking in Abuja, the minister said the effort is part of a broader strategy to promote agricultural productivity and bolster economic growth through the National Agricultural Growth Scheme and Agro Pockets. He said this scheme spans 16 wheat-producing states and is designed to empower farmers with financial support and resources for improved wheat cultivation. The National Project Coordinator, Ishaku Buba, while briefing the minister, noted that the financial incentives provided under the program, which according to him includes a 25% subsidy on certified wheat seeds and a 50% subsidy on fertilizers, is aimed at reducing production costs for farmers. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has been urged to extend the hours of selling the compressed natural gas (CNG) in Taraba State. Stakeholders consisting of drivers and park operators made the appeal as the state-owned oil and gas firm took its ongoing stakeholder sensitization program to the state. The exercise is part of NNPCL's efforts to increase awareness and core understanding of the oil and gas industry's role in national development while schooling stakeholders on efficient use of petroleum products. Tech billionaire Elon Musk has revealed that the Securities and Exchange Commission has issued a settlement demand in connection with its ongoing investigation into his 2022 acquisition of X, formerly known as Twitter. The commission was probing to know if Musk violated securities laws by failing to disclose his stock purchases on the social media platform within the required time frame. Attorney for Musk, Alex Pyro, shared a letter on social media outlining the commission's demand that Musk agreed to a fine or face multiple charges. The Securities and Exchange Commission claims that the demand was the result of a directive from higher-ups and warned that charges would be filed unless Musk complied. Impeached President Yoon Suk Yeol has said he will step aside after Parliament voted to remove him from office, urging an end to politics of excess and confrontation. This was after South Korean lawmakers impeached Yoon over his failed martial law bid, with the opposition declaring a victory of the people. The vote took place as hundreds of thousands took to the streets of Seoul in rival rallies for and against Yoon, who launched a failed attempt to impose martial law on December 3. Out of 300 lawmakers, 204 voted to impeach the president on allegations of insurrection, while 85 voted against. 3 abstained, with 8 votes nullified. On a side note, at least 3 people have been killed and dozens more wounded after an explosive was thrown into a crowd at a festival in Thailand. The attack took place shortly before midnight local time at the Red Cross Doi Lofia Fair, held annually in the Upang district in the northern Tok province. 2 suspects are being held in custody, but no charges have been pressed. That's according to reporters. At least 48 people have been wounded, 6 of whom are critically injured. Let's turn to other stories now. Turkey says it is set to reopen its embassy in Damascus nearly a week after President Bashar al-Assad was toppled by forces backed by Ankara, and 12 years after the diplomatic outpost was shuttered early in Syria's civil war. The move came as Middle Eastern and Western diplomats gathered in Jordan for high-level talks on Syria, and the day after nationwide celebrations at Assad's ouster. Ankara has been a major player in Syria's conflict, holding considerable sway in the northwest and financing armed groups there, as well as maintaining a working relationship with the Islamist Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, which spearheaded the offensive that brought down Assad. Now, time to get into the ever exciting world of sports. A Nigerian female police officer, Corporal Juliet Chukwu, has won the Bantamweight Championship in Johannesburg, South Africa. The force public relations officer, ACP Olumoyiwa Adejobi, in a statement emphasized that the achievements underscores the rising prominence of Nigerian athletes on the global stage, while reaffirming their force's dedication to excellence across all areas of sports. Adejobi further noted that the Inspector General of Police has reaffirmed his unwavering support for Corporal Chukwu and all police athletes in their pursuits of excellence. Quite an inspiring outcome right there. Nigeria always on the map for the right reasons. Ikorodu City have expressed determination to bounce back to winning ways as they prepare to host the Nigerian Premier Football League table toppers Remo Stars in the much anticipated Southwest Derby on Sunday. The Lagos-based side, who are presently on the 4th position, lost to Bayelsa United 1-0 during their last league match at the Samson Siasia Stadium, are now keen to extend its home win record. Speaking with journalists, the club's gaffer Naruddin Aweroro attributed their loss to Bayelsa United to lack of concentration, assuring that they would bounce back against their regional rivals. If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself up and try again. That's the lesson. But that's a full cycle on the news here on Global Television, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times 276, and free to air on Nigecomsat. We encourage all of our viewers across the world to follow us and engage with us across social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles. As you now see on your screen, I am Uyag Mofrebe. I'll see you soon.